So let's touch base on the immune system a little bit. Stress and the immune system. When stress hormones are released due to anger, unforgiveness, fear, sadness, worry, frustration, grief, etc., it disables the immune system to deal with the perceived threat. When the immune system is shut down, it causes disease processes to take hold. A good example of this would be, say you're walking through the woods, and you're taking a walk because you don't feel so well. You've got a cough, you kind of got cold symptoms going on. So obviously something, whether it's a bacteria or a virus, something has taken hold in your body. So you're strolling through the woods, and you hear something behind you. You turn around, and there's a bear. Oh, dear. Now, I know you don't stroll through the woods much. You probably haven't ever seen a bear that close, most of you. But in this hypothetical situation, your body has a couple things to consider. And let's talk about how it was created to deal with this situation. You have a bear here. You have a bacteria or a virus infection in here. How many people think that if you don't get out of the situation with the bear, the bacteria or virus situation is going to be his issue to deal with and not yours anymore? Right? So what happens in a situation where there's stress or perceived threat in your life, when you don't feel safe, when you're angry or frustrated, the hormones shut off the immune system to help you deal with the impending threat in your world. Your body cannot decipher. There are not different stress hormones that have a bear code versus a code of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my light bill this month. Or I don't have enough in my retirement account. Or this organic food is too expensive. And I don't like it. You don't have a code that deciphers if it's a bear or you're just being negative. So what happens is, just like in that situation, your body shuts the immune system down and it puts out the stress hormones. And it tells the body, get ready, because something isn't supportive in this environment and we may need to get out of here. So the immune system goes into hiding. It doesn't have resources to deal with. All the blood and adrenaline is out. It's out in your arms and legs, and it's getting you ready to either fight or to flee. And the brain, the blood rushes from your thought center, from your intellectual center, back to your autonomic system to make sure that your instincts of punching or running are faster than before. When you are stressed out for a long period of time, you become less intelligent because you're running with programs and not with your intellect that you've been given. And your immune system is squashed because you can't put energy and resources to both your immune system and your stress response system. Your body is going to fund the activity of stress response before it will fund immunity. And until it knows it's safe, the immune system will not be able to kick back. Your body will not switch the resources back to your immune system from your stress response system. Does that make sense to everyone? As soon as the bear is gone, as soon as the all clear is done, and there's no more threat, you get that, that feeling like the weight of the world lifted off your shoulders, and you were finally safe. You finally believed that you were safe. Whether you were safe or not, you believed it. And as soon as the belief kicked in, your body switched back to fighting that virus and that bacterial infection. Is this beginning to make sense? Why the thought process is so utterly important in the body and in health? The neat thing is we can actually track it now, whereas we thought about this 10, 15 years ago, but we had no way of scientifically proving it. Now we do. So many of these diseases are associated with suppressed or exhausted immune systems. Cancer, do we have a cancer issue in this country? We have exhausted immune systems in this country. Autoimmune diseases, tons of allergies, tons of arthritis. Skin disorders, infections, digestive problems, chronic fatigue. All of those things are a result of constant stress or perceived stress in your life. So the two systems that automatically prepare you for stress or progress. Let's talk about these because you want to be operating in the latter. The sympathetic nervous system responds to stress by changing your body's systems to be ready for danger and preservation. As soon as you feel that there's threat, or you are fearful, or you are worried, or you are negative about something, you're running in your sympathetic nervous system mode. That is the system that is operating your body. In the sympathetic state, your health progress is shut down. Your immunity is shut down. Anything that is doing something for you, your cell regeneration is shut down. This is why when you're stressed, you age way faster. Your parasympathetic nervous system is exactly the one you want to be operating in. To do so, the system actively relaxes your body and initiates healing and protection for vitality. You want to be operating in your parasympathetic state as much as you possibly can. And in that state, your health progresses, flourishes, and you heal because your body has resources, because it's not spending resources on your stress hormones and on getting you ready for something bad that might be happening. This is a chart that just gives you kind of a this, not that kind of a comparison between parasympathetic and sympathetic. So you can see in the parasympathetic state, you have a decreased heart rate, you're relaxed. When your sympathetic heart rate, or when your sympathetic state is kicked in, you increase your heart rate. We have probably a considerable amount of people taking this course, whether they're watching it or here, that have blood pressure issues. Your thoughts are the first cure to a blood pressure problem. Number one. Because it will get you in a parasympathetic operation and it will lower your blood pressure. So I'll let you guys read through those. Those are really interesting comparisons, though. Diffuse it now. Okay? This is everyday techniques to release the physical and mental effects of stress. I would like you to just kind of read through these on your own. Okay, this is a list that you guys are very, very capable of reading and going through. Go back through this lesson and read some of these charts and lists. Okay, they'll give you a very good idea of some of the things that you can use. Pick what you like, leave what you don't. Things that you can incorporate in your life to help to diffuse stress. I like to use acupuncture. I like to use massage. That's what I like to use to de-stress. I also like to have good and positive relationships in my life so I can talk through things and people can help me stay in a positive state and stay solution focused. Because sometimes when I'm in the middle of something that I can't figure out what is going on here and I can't get to a solution. Usually the relationships in the community you live in can help support you through something like that. And someone who's been there, done that, can help you see further than you can see. This is why it's not good to squash stress. It's still there. You are still thinking about it every day. Because it's not coming out of your mouth doesn't mean anything. It's still there. Five steps to build a strong mind and, in turn, a strong body. How many people are ready to learn how to build a strong mind, which in turn will build a strong body? Okay, we are to the solution area. I think you're thoroughly convinced that stress is not a good thing, that negativity is not a good thing to live in, right? Are we convinced of that finally? Number one, And these aren't in particular order necessarily, okay? These are all important. Functional and balance-based exercise. Exercise that emulates normal movement. Movement always helps the body to regulate hormones in a way that helps to be more positive. Anyone felt the positive hormone balance when they've gotten done with a workout? When they've gotten done with a walk? There's a saying called runner's high, if you've ever heard of that. It doesn't just apply to runners. It's describing what actually has happened in your hormones after you've exercised. That's exactly what's happening. Your body is upregulating its positive hormones. Movement also circulates nutrients throughout the body, removes toxicity, which will help you feel much better and reduce physical stress. It also increases the amount of oxygen that gets into your muscles and tissues. Anyone ever gone for a walk and regretted it? Unless you got hit by a truck, probably not, right? You're probably pretty happy you did it. Number 2, continued learning and brain stimulation. Life is a learning practice. This is one of the most dangerous parts of retirement as we see it in America, is because people work all their lives to get to this point where they just shut off their brain. And if you are not continuing to learn and stimulating your brain, you become physically ill because your brain was designed to continue to learn. So learning helps to stimulate neurogenesis, which is the production of new neurons in the brain. How many people would like to keep their neurons being produced? Believe me, you all do. And it promotes neuroplasticity, which is your brain learning new things, making new connections between synapses. Okay, it keeps your brain active and healthy, just like a moving muscle. When you stop learning new things and keeping your activities enjoyable, your brain will slow down, which will lead to all kinds of neurological issues, including dementia and Alzheimer's. If you do not keep your brain active, if you do not exercise your brain, you will begin to have brain problems. Because your cells have stopped turning over as quickly as they once did, you reduce the amount of oxygen to the brain, and it simply begins to atrophy. It's that simple. Okay? Personal and professional development. How many people think they have some things they could work on personally and professionally? This is one of my favorite things to do, is to spend time every day trying to learn things that I didn't know before, connecting them with everyday life, and then helping myself get better. It's one of the things I absolutely love to do. So keeping progressive and positive information in front of us that reminds us to be better people will always serve us well when trying to stay positive for our health. Read something every day to help become a better person, thinker, and professional. One of the things that one of my favorite speakers, his name is Ed Foreman. He has been probably one of the pioneers in professional development over the past many, many decades. He was the only person in U.S. history to be a U.S. senator from 2 different states. He's had multiple multi-million-dollar companies. And the guy is a firecracker. He's like one of those guys you just want to be around. And one of the things that he said, and I was just at one of his conferences, a conference that he was speaking at this last weekend. And one of the things that he gives as a major key in being successful and being a lifelong learner is the very second you get up out of bed is to pick up a book and to read something positive. Because you are in a state in your brain for the first 5 to 10 minutes upon waking where you are able to take in information and it sticks. Anyone ever heard a song in the morning and have not been able to stop humming it throughout the entire day? Can we say that information sticks in the morning? Read something right when you get up out of bed. Even if you have to run to the bathroom, take it with you. It's a good time to just sit and relax, right? Doesn't matter where you're reading it, I don't care. Read something positive right away. Another couple things that Ed says, which I absolutely love, and it actually kind of goes right along with what Dr. Colbert talked about, his definition of stress. Ed says, what happens to us is not nearly as important as our reaction to what happens to us. You can absolutely 100% control your reaction. Pain is going to happen. Okay? Suffering is optional. And then one of my favorite things that I got out of this last weekend was worrying is nothing more than the misuse of your imagination. Worrying is nothing more than the misuse of your imagination. Don't be thinking up problems for yourselves, folks. You're safe. Number 4, nutrition. I had to hit nutrition. Nutrition and nutrient load. Okay? It's no secret by this point that nutrients and resources are a huge part of your physical health. Your brain depends on nutrients just as much as your body. Eat good food or you will become less intelligent. Bottom line. Even if the food's a little bit more expensive, is it worth your intellect? Because there's no disconnection there, folks. Number 5, positive attitude and thoughts, self-awareness and consciousness. What I mean by self-awareness and consciousness is starting to listen to your own inner monologue with yourself. Becoming conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking constantly. And what you'll find is you'll begin to catch yourself when you start to skew negative. And you'll say, stop. One of my favorite things in the world, the author of Natural Cures, Kevin Trudeau, one of the favorite things I hear him say at conferences when he's speaking on this very topic is he says, cancel, cancel. And we say this in our house constantly now. Is if something negative is said, or one of us, like, we start to kind of get off on this, we hear, cancel, cancel. And we immediately know, there it was. I was going negative for a little bit. Begin to be self-conscious and self-aware of the thoughts and the conversations you're having in your head. If you are sitting there worrying about the finances, if you're sitting there worrying about your health, you are not in faith, folks. Because you're worrying if it's going to be taken care of, and that is stepping out of faith. Catch yourself, cancel, cancel, step back in. And what you'll find is every time you do that, you'll start doing it less. And you will immediately find it'll feel like the weight of the world lifted off your shoulders, because it did. So evaluate your normal propensity to negativity and begin to become aware of your thoughts so you can catch yourself and change them. When positive thoughts and thoughts of love are the primary environment of the brain, you become smarter. Your body becomes more efficient in fighting disease. Your body is in full-on growth and progress mode. And you're able to rewrite your genes for the better. How many people here do you think these 4 things would get you to the goals, or at least help you get to the goals you had when you came here? You're absolutely right, they will.